Hi, can you hear me, everybody? Yes. Okay, so the good news is I'm not going to present any data whatsoever. So that should gladden your hearts. I think that's a good start. All I'm going to present is cartoons. Works? So when Mitali called me and said, she wants to do a session which is 1988 to 2022, I thought, okay, that's perfect because my career started in 1988. Right? So, I'm like ground zero of, this entire process. But, I was also a bit worried, like, I'd like to know how many of you were not born in 1988. Can you please raise your hands? Yes. I suspected that. Okay. So, therefore, we have, a fertile ground. And I'm surprised to see a lot of you actually were born in 88, but maybe you were in kindergarten, I'm guessing. Possibly, okay. So the other question I asked myself is, what has really changed? I was doing concept tests in 1988, I'm doing concept tests now. So what's the big difference? And then I thought a little more and said, yes, the things we do are the same, but the things around us are different. So, I want to show you how things have changed and give you an idea through cartoons. Ready? Yeah. Cool. So let me take you back first to 1988. Okay, let me read this out. The Lord of data is about to speak, the only light in our data darkness. It's only taken 6 months. What speed? And here is, we were called MR agencies at that time, sitting on the mountain of data. The point is, in those days, Upwork clients didn't have any other sources of data. They just had us. So, they would wait for us to talk. They would, give us bhav. They would, listen to us. They would give us time. And, we would also like oblige with reams of data. Right? No, we are not moving in. That's just your research findings. Okay? So, that's what we used to do. And I'm not joking. This is what we used to do. The other thing that we had was a nice demarcation between what research does and what clients do. Tell you what decision to make. Next, you'll be telling me to do your ads for you. So in those days, this poor client, we were very clear. We provide the data, we provide the information. You take the decisions, you take the flak. Okay, we don't do that. All these were part of, 1988. And I'm sure, the people here who were in kindergarten in 1988 must be wondering what I'm talking about. Is this how things used to be? Cut to 2022. And the tables are a bit turned, if you pardon the pun. First of all, earlier we used to deal with marketing people, we used to deal with, client-side people. Now we deal with researchers. It's almost like an echo chamber. Researchers are dealing with researchers. We don't even feel that we are dealing with somebody different. But, more than that, today the clients come in multiple shapes and sizes. And I'm going to show you some client archetypes. I see a few clients here. I'm sure I'd like you to, figure out which of these archetypes you belong to. Data glutton. Give them lots of data. I want more. Ye dil mange more analysis. Give me more analysis. Data glutton. Yum. That's type 1. Second type is an interesting one to me. What I call that's so cool to know consumers actually know my brand. Right? Every little piece of data you give them is like news to them. Are they familiar to you? Okay. Also, the big change, from those days to now is that, the client looks at it as commodity. Yo, researcher, go out into the market, get me 5 kgs of consumer insights and 1 liter of fizzy innovation ideas and come back quickly. I have a client meeting. I have a meeting with my brand team, in the next 1.5 days. Come back quickly. This is what I mean, the tables are turned. Okay? But, also we live in a very volatile situation where, somebody was talking in the morning about how client briefs are created. But today client briefs are not briefs. They are morphing, amorphous, morphing kind of things. So let's look at this. Thank you for your proposal. Perfectly aligned with the brief. Only our brief has changed a little bit. You need to tweak your proposal. Here's a change in our target group. Objectives have also changed. The cities have also changed. Our budget also has changed. And a little later, what the poor researcher says is, the only thing left unchanged is the document template. Clients is coming to that in a bit. Okay, so we have these shifting sands, and this is a dance between agency and client. I call it the client-agency dance. There is more to this dance. The other thing people don't have is attention span, right? This deck has too many slides, too many words. My boss has the attention span of a mosquito. Cut all your slides, words, everything. Just answer our brief. And later, oh, this is certainly sharper. But don't you think we should add something to it? This reminds me of one client I had where we created a CEO presentation of 21 slides. They were very worried. They said, our CEO has the attention span only for 13 slides. So I always wondered, how did they arrive at that 13 slides? What sort of sample size did they use to figure out it was 13 slides? And often we are asked to create the findings out of data, and very often the data is not very palatable. We do our best to make it palatable, but still it doesn't quite work. So whittle the data. He's not going to like this. I don't like this. Can you do better? Dress it up. I prefer the naked truth. And sometimes, we would like to be like this, in our final recommendations. Brand recommendation, pray. Okay, but with great recommendations comes great responsibility. So, we have to take the flak or the credit, but the point is, do we take the credit or do we take the flak? So, very often you have a situation like this. The product your research recommended has bombed in the market. Brand team is questioning the validity of research based on that. So the researcher says, but then last 2 products we said we recommended went quite well. Oh yes, phenomenal marketing. So the point is, do we get enough credit is a question you need to ask yourselves. Do we need to push for that? And then, of course, shooting the messenger. Sometimes our reports are a little too actionable. They're a little too drastic. Thank you for the robust and thorough report. But your findings contradicted earlier research which showed our brand in a glorious light. This report will shock our senior management. It will galvanize them. So the researcher says, very happy to provoke action. They said, yes, sack the agency. So, sometimes we do face situations like this, and then we've learned to hedge our bets. Here's one situation. We launched the product that you tested, and the sales graph looks great. Yes, but in our report, we told you it would do well. Slide number 44, you have a winner, launch. Then he says, oh wait, I was reading the graph upside down. Actually, the product has bombed. So the researcher says, but we told you that also. What do you mean you told us that? Slide number 45, caveats. I should read these reports more carefully. And then, of course, this is the latest development in our lives. So the client, now that clients have limited budgets, right? They have to do a lot of research. They say, so after many years of working with consumers, I'm sure you know your consumers very well. Yeah, maybe. Now you see, I have 3 ads. Which of these 3 ads is going to work? So the researcher says, ad number 3 maybe. Guys, go with ad number 3. Yes, boss. Thanks so much. Please come by more often. Okay. So, so it's not just the client-agency relationships that have changed, but our consumers have also changed. Earlier, when we used to go and meet our consumers, they would say, so nice of you to reach out to little old me for my opinion. But now, they say, let me check it out with my 10 WhatsApp groups and Insta followers around the globe and I'll let you know. So consumers have changed, but the way we treat consumers has unfortunately not changed. No comments. And we were talking about how clients think and consumers have become complicated. What I find now is that the more complicated consumers have become, the more simplistic the clients are becoming. So in purchase decision journey, for instance, clients think that consumers are like this: need recognition, information search, weighing options, decide, buy. Is it good for my family's health? It is, no, yes, no, done. This is not the way it happens. This is the way it really happens. Let me read out this for you. Nice box, it will work as a temporary flower pot. Oh, it's for cereal. Do I need cereal? I will have to if I want the box. Right now I need the washroom. But this costs too much for cereal and my family will hate it. But such a nice flower pot. I'd better decide fast, the washroom gets crowded. I'll buy and I'll make my family like it. Bye. So very often, complicated decision making but simplistic clients. And then there are, of course, today the famous direct consumer interactions with, brand teams results in situations like this. What do you think of our brand? I think it's a nice brand. Nice? Is that all you can say after the millions we spent on our advertising campaign? Don't you know our brand is the sweet center of your bitter world, layered with mystery and childlike innocence? I'm going to cut you out of my target audience. And of course, if people have been sitting with clients in the viewing room, this will be an interesting sort of experience. All of them are talking about their product. In the first part, 4 out of 6 loved the products. That's 2/3. That lady in the corner also smiled. Let's launch it right away. Then 4 out of 6 trashed our ad. Oh, such a tiny sample size. Pooh, minuscule. We are not so easily misled. So, just going very quickly to the future, I've got one red button saying time's up out here, but I'll just plow on for another 2 minutes. Yeah? Okay. Because of the COVID, we all got pushed into online research and we have swum. And there was a period when we stayed afloat on the airwaves, right? This is the way we did business for 2 years, yes? And this is where, where many of us felt, stuck between the old normal and the new normal. I don't think, we've even discovered the new normal yet, okay? And, people are confused. So here's a guy who's saying, is home home if you work from home? Is work work if you work from home? Should I call work from home hork? That would make home warm. So then his wife says, did you just call me a colleague? Wife is so old normal. So finally, one last cartoon. What does our future hold? Now, we all want the future to have ready-made answers for us, things to be done instantly. In one word, we want all our answers. So, here is this guy who's created a machine which says, you say this device can give me simple answers to complex questions. Yes, it runs through all your data, gives you an answer in just one word. So he says, tell me in one word, should I launch my product? So that machine thinks, cling, clong, cling, clong, cling, clong, cling, clong. Thank you.
Please. Thank you so much, Shobha, for such a fun session. It was not just funny, but also punny. But Shobha, please, we would like to call you back up. Thank you so much. And Manish would like to come over and hand you the sizing report for the year.
Thank you.
Shobha, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was a wonderful session.
Thank you so much.
You're a brilliant cartoonist, and and a great commentator on the industry institution.
Thank you so much.
Here is a token of appreciation.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sure. Thank you.